Shark Shark! Hey, this is Coach Moore from the great state of New York. Here's another episode of the Coach's Corner. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the new scoring model, FICO 10 Suite. This is going to be crazy, ladies and gentlemen, because we're talking about they're going to be looking at everything that you've been doing for the last 24 months. Can you imagine a 24-month look back period? How are you paying your bills? How often you're paying your bills? If you're paying your bills on time, are you carrying over heavy balances? These are some of the things that we're looking at, so I want you to take copious notes on this training. I had to bring the whistle out because we got to sound the alarm. There are so many people who've never even heard of FICO. They don't know anything about FICO 10. We got to be the ones to tell them. So I really hope you enjoy this training. Let's get started. So what we want to do is we want to know how to prepare for the FICO 10 suite. In this training, we're going to be going over the new scoring model. We're going to talk about what is FICO 10 suite. Then we're going to be talking about trended data, which is FICO 10 and FICO 10T. Then the impact that FICO 10 is going to have. And we're talking about in respects to delinquencies, credit cards, personal loans, and other things. And then we're going to be talking about suggested action steps. What are some of the things that you can do in preparation of this? This FICO scoring model just kind of reminds me of my phone. I remember a couple of years ago, I got the X6 Edge, and I really thought I was doing it. Now that's just so outdated. Well, with these FICO models, kind of almost like the same thing. I remember when everybody said, oh my God, FICO 9 is coming. Now we're talking about FICO 10. FICO hasn't even adjusted their models since 2014. But I tell you what, most people don't even know the different models. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of people who've never even heard of FICO or even heard of Vantage. So this is really going to be something that's important for people to understand so they understand what to deal with. That's why we're saying that your credit really is your passport to financial freedom. Because if you're at the airport and you're traveling abroad, you're going to have to see a TSA agent. Well, if you don't have your passport, you're not going anywhere. And even if you could, you're going to pay a whole bunch of money to do so. Credit really is the same thing. And because the scoring models are changing, we want to arm people with information. Because the higher your credit score, the less amounts of interest rates you're paying. Less interest rates mean more money in your pocket. We want people to understand that credit affects your everyday life. And it's so important that people understand this. This is the FICO profile. It goes from 300 to 850. Now, that's one thing that's not going to change is that they're going to keep the same scoring model. But you got to ask yourself, where are you right now? And no matter where you are, you want to be higher. You want to get better. You want to have the best credit you could possibly have. But understanding what the rules of the games are, or more importantly, just understanding the game, that's what's really going to take yourself to the next higher heights, simply because you can start changing some habits right now. That way, when FICO 10 kicks in, you're already prepared. Look at the difference between fair and good. Fair ends off at 659. Good starts at 660. We're talking about percentage points. That can be the difference between you getting some things done in your life or you leveraging yourself as opposed to being denied, or even if you are accepted, paying these higher interest rates. Look at very poor. That goes from 300 to 589. Did you know with a 580 credit score, you could get a brand new automobile? For a 580. Now, I just told you it's very poor. So what does that mean? That means you're paying higher interest rates. Look at poor. That ends off at 624. You can actually get an FHA loan with a 620 credit score and a decent debt to income ratio. But if you understand that the interest rate you're going to pay, it's going to make that house very hard to afford. Not because just the price of the house, but all the upkeeps that a house takes for. So this is why this is so important, why it's so relevant. And so we're hoping that you enjoy this training that's coming up. So please go on to the first module. Shark, shark.